physical team next week. So I have to do a great job of continuing to attack where we can improve.
On the right here, Zach, front row.
The quarterback is very sound with the ball, not many mistakes this year. You guys forced him into 2 interceptions. What did you see from your secondary in that performance?
Yeah, just attacking the ball in the air. I think their wideouts do a really good job of doing that. And we challenged our guys going into the game that, hey, we're going to get some opportunities. You got to go win when we get those opportunities. And again, he's been really good at protecting the ball this year. So we knew they were going to be hard, but their defense has been extremely advantageous into this point as far as creating takeaways. So we felt like it was kind of our defense versus their defense when it came to creating takeaways, and we were able to do that today.
Dan, you talk about it being a physical game, only one TFL, and it was the one sack early allowed. What was about your offensive line, offense as a whole, to where you didn't allow very many at all negative plays against a team where you talk about being physical?
Yeah, when you can protect the quarterback, it gives you a chance to stay on schedule. When you avoid TFLs, it gives you a chance to stay on schedule, and that's going to allow you to have success. So I think we had a good offensive plan. I think our coaches did a really good job identifying what we were getting from them early, and they had answers for it.
Back left, Matt.
Dan, Noah's hard running, just explosiveness. How do you feel like that set the tone for this game? Just how far has he come since that injury?
Yeah, this guy does everything right every single day. He works his absolute tail off. I was really thrilled to see him have some success tonight, and he'll be the first one to tell you it starts with the guys up front for him. But he ran hard, right? He created some big plays, had a huge catch obviously last week, was able to turn that into some really positive runs this week. So what I love is that everybody in that running back room is just as excited for his success, and even Dinks when he came in there at the end of the game and created some success for himself as well.
Back-to-back weeks, the defense has kind of buckled up at the end of the game with some second-team reserves in the field. Kind of speak to the depth you're seeing with this defense right now.
Yeah, standard's a standard, regardless of who's in the game. I think our guys are really doing a good job of owning that, and they certainly did that today.
Front left, right.
Dan, what do you make of the defense sort of imposing its will throughout the first half and just putting together the performance that it did through those first 30 minutes?
Yeah, when you can get off the field and limit their opportunities, you look up at one point, I think we had, several offensive plays to their limited offensive plays. That's going to create, success for us. So our guys had a good plan. I thought our coaches did a really good job coaching throughout the game, and our players executing that.
Back right, Aaron.
I know we talked a lot about the defense, but just the defensive line, since Birch is still out, how have you kind of seen guys like Tatum and Mateo really step up and be able to uphold the standards? And what have you kind of seen from their leadership and how much that has grown since Birch has been out?
Yeah, I think, again, every guy takes it personal. It's their job when they're on the field to own their job and own their assignment, and those guys did a good job of that. Tatum and Mateo have played really consistent football for us this entire season, and certainly we've been asking a little bit more of them because Jordan's been down, but they've done a good job of upholding that.
On the left here.
A couple nice catches for Justice today, including his first touchdown. What have you seen in terms of his development as he stepped into a bigger role over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, just the guy that we trust. Right? When you put him on the field, he's going to do his job. He's going to do his assignment. He executes it really well. Probably one of our best route runners. So, really proud of his progression, his growth in our offense.
Right here. Bill.
7 different guys got a carry, 9 different guys caught a pass. How important is spreading the ball around in your offense?
Well, it's important when that's what's required, and they were playing some zone coverages that meant you had to go through progression reads. I thought Dylan did a really good job of that tonight. They changed the picture up on a little bit, excluding one play of his. But that's what's going to happen when you see some more zone. You're going to have to find the soft zone and attack it, and he did a good job of that.
Back middle on the bench.
Coach, Noah hasn't really been getting much opportunities, and he scored a touchdown today. How do you think his performance gave him? How do you think his touchdown gave him confidence?
Yeah, it was a great touchdown. So I imagine it gave him great confidence. We have a lot of confidence in Noah. He did a really good job today.
All right, Zach.
Talk about the third quarter and a little bit of the lulls in the second half you've seen a few times this year. What goes into coaching that differently and kind of improving there?
I'll have to look at the film and kind of assess it. What stopped us from having success? What created that? But I couldn't answer that right now.
Second row right, Olivia.
You've talked about being able to have explosive plays from the beginning of the season. What was the importance of starting the game on that note, on not only offense but defense as well?
Yeah, ultimately, it's the biggest indicator of wins in college football outside of takeaways, right? So we want to be able to create those on offense and limit them on defense. I think in the first half on defense, we gave up one on a run that we, misfit, didn't fit properly. But outside of that, we were able to keep them contained for the most part.
Front left, James.
Your thoughts on Dylan's performance in a game that, for him, will be remembered statistically speaking for him moving up in the all-time passing and passing touchdown marks? How do you think he played? How do you think he connected overall through the passing game?
Yeah, again, like I said earlier, I think he did a really good job of managing the pictures he was getting throughout the day, excluding one play. I know he'd want that play back, but overall, Dylan's done what he's been able to do all year for us and be really consistent and execute.
All the way in the back, stand in the middle.
Coach, where do you think the defense really helped you in the game today, and what goals do you have in the defense looking forward for further games?
Yeah, I just think being able to start off fast. There's been a couple games this year where teams had sustained drives early in the game for us to be able to limit that early on and get them off the field, get the ball back to our offense. And then more than that, attacking the ball the way they attacked the ball today. We'll have to go back and look at it, but it looked like we even caused a fumble that maybe didn't get ruled a fumble on the field. But I thought our guys attacked the ball, with relentless effort today.
In the back, Matt.
Like you guys liked the perimeter offensively. What did you like from that situation in those matchups?
Yeah, again, it was based on some of the looks that they were giving us. They were playing a lot of cover 2, and that requires the corners to be run support in those pictures. So we were able to take advantage of that at times. But they were trying to change the look. We wanted to make sure we were able to attack it.
All right, Zach.
Number 1 ranking, obviously, you say who cares, but what does it say about your team that they're able to keep that mentality and win games like this?
Yeah, they put themselves in position to have that opportunity, but that's all it is an opportunity, right? And success only matters if you're satisfied, and I know our team's not.
Front left, James.
Talked a couple of weeks ago about Nico, but it's a career high with 3 PBUs today and challenged against some major receivers. But first impressions off the field of his performance today?
Yeah, I thought he played well. I want to go back and be able to watch the film and see. I thought overall Nico had a good game.
Right here on the right. Fourth row on the aisle.
Talked about next week being a tough physical game. What excites you about that game, but also what do you think your team needs to do maybe better going into that matchup?
Yeah, once we were able to watch the film, we'll probably be able to assess where we really need to improve. But obviously, Michigan's a good team. They've had a lot of success. Obviously, they have a storied history. It's an exciting game to get to be a part of. That's what you sign up for when you're in the Big Ten. But traveling there, right, the ability to handle travel and go play in a tough environment is going to be a fun challenge for our team.
Back row middle.
Coach, how does it help you guys to continue giving opportunities to guys who aren't really starting every week and, are on the second team?
Well, if you're on the field for us, you're a starter, right? It doesn't matter. The standard doesn't change when you step on the field. So we have the same expectations for our guys. When they go out there, they need to go execute and do their job. And the only way you get better at football is playing football. So we want to go ahead and create more opportunities for people to do that.
Back right, Ron.
Coach, I know you said you wanted to look at the clip to see what exactly happened in the third quarter, but I think in the last 5 games, you guys have 3 points in the third quarter total. Is there something going on, or do you feel like in halftime you notice a little bit of a different energy, or?
No, we've only scored 3 points, I guess, in the last 3 quarters. We got to go look at it. Energy's good.
Yeah, you talked a lot about Noah today, but how much do you enjoy just seeing a running back truck a dude to finish the play in the end zone?
Great feeling, isn't it? Yeah, it's awesome seeing guys play physical, right? And I think that's something our team prides itself in. And when you get an opportunity to run through a man's face, there's nothing better than that.
Front left, James.
They mentioned during the telecast that Jordan Birch might be able to go next week. Just how far away in timeline is he and Terrence, who couldn't go today?
Yeah, he did some limited stuff for us, and at the end of practice next week, we'll continue to evaluate it and see what's best for him, right? And in turn, what's best for our team.
Third row on the right here.
What does the energy in the locker room at halftime and then coming out of halftime look like, considering the score of today's game at half?
Yeah, our guys, said it's 0-0. They have they have a high standard for themselves and where they want to be at. But they weren't done. They knew it wasn't done yet.
That's all we have for you, Coach.
Thank you.